What's going on, guys? TTL here. Today I'm going over my top 5 MLB plays for today. Today is June 27th, 2023. It's currently almost 6 in the morning. There's a ton of props already on the board for these pitchers, and there's a ton of value to be had here as well. A lot of these lines are even lower than underdog, which is usually around the same. So definitely love getting this early value. Make sure you guys lock these in early as soon as you see this video, because they might get bumped, honestly. Real quick before we do get started into the picks and the actual props, thank you guys so much for all the support lately. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button with the little bell next to it so you get a notification when I upload, and leave a comment if you're going to tell anything. If you guys aren't in VIP, you're truly missing out. It's $20 a month. You get PrizePicks, Underdog, and Sleeper Slips. You get sports and esports sportsbook bets, which have been absolutely killing it. You get live streams. You get a VIP chat. You get priority support. Tons of different stuff. Feel free to join, guys. Definitely recommend it. We have 200 or 300 people in there that are absolutely loving it right now, and that number is just going to continue to grow as we keep on killing it and making money. One last thing, you may have noticed this THUNDERPICK logo on my screen. I'm officially sponsored by THUNDERPICK, so thank you guys over there at THUNDERPICK. If you're interested in a legal sportsbook for all states, THUNDERPICK is your go-to. They are a crypto casino. They have casino games such as slots. They have esports. They have real sports. Really simple to use. If you need any help at all, getting on THUNDERPICK, send me a DM on Discord. I don't care if I have to go through 100 different DMs, helping 100 different people learn how to use crypto, learn how to purchase crypto, send it, etc. Definitely get signed up for THUNDERPICK, guys. Again, they are the sponsor of the videos, and they've been a great help. Everyone over there is just truly it's just a really nice company with really nice staff. So go show them some love. Use my link in the description or in the comments down below. You will get a huge bonus if you use my link. And it also lets them know, like, hey, Test the Limit sent me. We've been killing it. Might as well join. That's 2 minutes already in the video, though, so I do apologize for that intro. I know most of you probably skipped through it anyways, though. Wink, wink. But let's get into the actual props. That's what you guys are here for. So let's get into it. One of my top plays of the day is actually Tyler Wells. So this is the starting pitcher for the Orioles today versus the Cincinnati Reds. He's went over this in 4 of his last 5 outings. His one time that he went below, oddly enough, was against the Royals. He went over versus the Guardians, over versus Toronto Blue Jays, and then under versus the Royals, who strike out a ton. So it must have just been an unlucky game for him. But we can take a look at his matchup today versus the Reds. They are 19th of 30th, averaging almost 9 strikeouts per game. They're averaging 10 strikeouts over their last 3, and this is just a great spot to have him in. We can take a look at our partners, Outlier.bet, and we can see Tyler Wells over 5.5 has went over in 7 of his last 10 and in 4 of his last 5. Oddly enough, even more, 2 of the 3 times he's went under over his last 10 were against the same team, the Royals. Again, I guess the batters match up well with him. I'm not sure. But this is a good matchup for him. Again, they strike out 9-10 times a game, so definitely love his matchup here. He's minus 105 odds to go over, but I think that's just going to get worse and worse odds, minus 120, minus 130 as it gets closer to game time. And again, I do love this over 5.5. You can play this on Sleeper, Underdog, or PrizePicks. It's the same on all 3. And yeah, let's get into the second top pick of the day. We have Rich Hill over 4. This is 4.5 on Sleeper for a 1.8x. So for 4 on PrizePicks, that's just absurd. I think this definitely gets bumped up to 4.5 during the day. We'll take a look. He's gone over in 3 of his last 5, pushed in 1. So he's pushed or went over in 4 of his last 5. He's versus the Padres today, who are 16th of 30th in strikeouts per game, kind of middle of the pack. Last game, they did have 12 Ks. The last 3, they're averaging almost 10. And then they're averaging around 9 in general. So we can take a look at our outlier.bet again as well. A link to this is in the description as well if you're interested. Those are another partner that I have. But Rich Hill over 3.5 is minus 235 odds to get that at least a push. He's gone over this or pushed in 9 of his last 10. 7 of those being actually 5 or more. And this is also versus incredible teams such as Washington, who are ranked 1 on least strikeouts, Toronto, who are like 4th. Yep, 4th. So even versus these really good teams, the Mets, he's going over against all of them. The San Diego Padres are not that great at a team. They still strike out quite often. So I do love taking his over versus them as well. Next we have Joe Ryan over 5.5, and again this is in order of most confident to least confident. Next we have Joe Ryan versus Atlanta today. 5.5 strikeouts. He's went over in 3 of his last 5. He went over versus Boston. He went over versus Houston. He did go under versus Toronto and Cleveland, but they are top of the top again. Houston's still pretty good too, though. They're 6th. Atlanta is 10th, averaging 8 strikeouts per game. His line's 5.5, and Joe Ryan is typically a really good pitcher. You can see the odds are around minus 112 on most sports books to go over 5.5. He's went over in 6 of his last 10, 3 of his last 5. And every single loss, he's had 4 strikeouts. 2 of these were versus the Guardians. 1 of these was versus the Blue Jays. So that's 3 of the losses that were just against incredible teams. They don't strike out much. Some of his hits were also versus good teams, such as Boston, Houston, and the White Sox, who are like middle of the pack. Angels and Cubs, they're like near the bottom, I believe. Let's check real quick. Angels are 17th. The Cubs are 25th. So they are like a lot lower than Boston and the like. But Atlanta, they're 10th. Again, they're averaging 8.5 strikeouts per game. His line's 5.5, and he's been killing it this season. So I love this over. I'm willing to play this in any power plays that I can put him in. Next, I absolutely love Taj Bradley over 5.5. He's versus Arizona today. He's went over in 4 of his last 5 in a row. Arizona are a pretty good team. They're 3rd on the list, averaging 7.5, 8 strikeouts per game. But his line's 5.5, and he's been killing it. Now, I will say, if you are on a sports book, such as THUNDERPICK, again, the sponsor of this video, guys, how odd. You can get this for plus 112 odds for this prop. So go sign up to THUNDERPICK, go deposit, put this in for plus 112. That means if you put $100 on it, you'll profit 112. Insane. But he's went over in 8 out of his last 10, 4 of his last 5. I will say the odds on THUNDERPICK or whatever sports book you do use are going to be a lot better than the odds you're going to get on PrizePicks, which are typically around minus 135 odds-ish. So definitely like it a little bit better on sports books, but you can parlay it on PrizePicks as well, and I do love this pick. I have it in a 5-pick myself. So still love this pick. Again, he's went over in 8 of his last 10. He went over versus Boston, over versus Houston, over versus Toronto, over versus Boston again. He did say under versus the Mets and versus the Rangers. You can see the Rangers 8-4 though. That's kind of understandable. So I mean, I do love this pick. I have him going over fairly easily, and I have him getting around 8 strikeouts today. So I'm loving that. And then my final play of the day would be Jordan Montgomery over 4 strikeouts. And we can take a look at his last 5. He's went over in 4 of his last 5, 4 in a row. He actually got 6 versus Washington in his last game. He's versus Houston, again, who are averaging 8 strikeouts per game, 7, 8 strikeouts per game. His line's only 4. So there is some push potential here, of course. I can't look at the alt lines, but over 4.5 is plus 110 odds, which means the over 3.5, so the at least push, is going to be closer to around minus 200. I do love this pick. He's only pushed in 1 of his last 10, and he's hit in 7 of his last 10. So he's only stayed under twice, and 1 was versus the Guardians, 1 was versus the Cubs. He's went over versus the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Reds, the Giants, the Pirates, the Nats, who are freaking number 1. So he's been killing it. I think he goes over here versus Houston, and I'm relying on him to just continue in the form that he's been in and get at minimum 5 strikeouts here. All we need technically is that 4 to get a push, but I believe he gets 5 or more. I don't think he's going to push for us, and I think he's going to cash. The main reason that he's at the bottom is because the push potential is there versus Houston. But I do think he goes over. I think he cashes for us. So again, just to recap really quickly, we have Tyler Wells over 5.5, Rich Hill over 4, Joe Ryan over 5.5, Bradley over 5.5, and then Jordan Montgomery over 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, I really do appreciate all the support you guys have given me over the past month, 2 months. Some of you have been here since last April, which is just absurd. But thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go check out THUNDERPICK, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.